Hello all. So after learning so much about the GUI Tkinter, okay, we are going to understand now the MySQL connectivity, okay, or connectivity of Tkinter with MySQL or connectivity of MySQL with Python. Fine. Now what is MySQL? I suppose you must be knowing MySQL, or it is a database, relational database management system, okay, which is used to store the data. Fine. And it is stored in the rows and columns format. Fine. So if suppose I'm talking about employee as a table, then it has employee number, employee name, salary. They are the three columns, they are the three attributes, and in those three attributes the data can be placed row by row format. But now the question is how to take that data which is there in MySQL onto the Python, okay, or how to show it from the backend to the front end. That is a question, okay. So for that we are going to understand how to do this connection, how to carry out this connection. So let's start. Okay, so MySQL allows us to get connected to Python programming language, and we are going to use here import PyMySQL. Okay, and obviously we are going to get this PyMySQL from command button. I suppose I have told you how to uh, use this import or how to install or pip install. So at the time of Jupyter Notebook when we tried, okay, that time I had told you what is pip and how to execute pip install, how to do pip install, okay, and how to set the path. Fine. So please watch that tutorial to understand what is pip install, okay. And then so pip install PyMySQL. PyMySQL is a library which allows us to connect to MySQL, Python MySQL library, that way. So in my computer it has already been installed, so you are going to give here pip install PyMySQL. By that time it would let it work, okay. I would just give you the remembrance of how to set the environment variable. So edit the system environment variable, let it open, just a minute. Yeah, and you can see the environment variable, and you can see here the path. Fine. And the path will be given up to the scripts. You can see here the script, okay, because in the scripts there is pip, okay, pip dot executable. Pip executable is there in the scripts. So up to the scripts this path has to be stored under path, okay, by going to edit and copying and pasting it, okay, and then say okay. In the here also in the system variables also you can see here the path till here. Fine. And this path would allow us to make the connection and to work on the command prompt. Now here you can see I have already do it, so I'll say cancel. You can see here it is saying that you are using pip version 20.0.1. There's a release and there's a version, and it is saying requirement already satisfied, because I told you already that in my machine it is PyMySQL is already installed. So after that, okay, give here PyMySQL or PyMySQL dot cursors. Fine. So I'm going to write it down here dot cursors. So that is the style of giving. Don't install PyMySQL dot cursors. Only install import PyMySQL. Okay. And now after that, we are going to give here db equal to PyMySQL dot connect. Now please keep it in mind, we are going to give here the local host because I am working on the same machine, okay. Then username, fine, and then password of MySQL, okay, and my database, okay. What is it? So here db equal to PyMySQL dot connect because I want to connect to MySQL from Python. How do I want to connect? On the local host, on the same machine the Python and MySQL is running. So localhost, otherwise you can give the IP address if they are different. Then the username, what is the username of the your MySQL, the password, and your database which you are going to use. I would open my MySQL also, just a minute. Fine. And then here we are going to write down here write down connected. Why do I want to give here connected? Because I want to check whether connection ban raha hai ki nahi. Just for my sake, just to understand my program is running properly or not. As simple as that. Okay, and then obviously I'll have to give a cursor. Now this cursor is nothing but the temporary area where all the records will be gathered. Okay, so I'm going to give here db.cursor. So cursor is another method or another function. Fine. So then I'm going to write down cursor dot execute. Okay, and then select. Now whatever the databases you have present in that test database, okay, whatever the table names you have present, you are going to give either of them. Select start from new or select start from something, whatever the table name. This is my table name. Fine. So I want to show all the records. So the records would be shown by using here print. Later I gave data equal to cursor dot fetch all. Fetch all, I want to fetch all the records which are there in the new. So I am going to write down here print data. Fine. And if I have opened something, I have to close too. So I'm going to write down cursor dot close. Before executing this program, db dot close, because I have opened the db. From db I have opened it. Okay, so after this I am going to say that I'm just going to show you that how to open the MySQL. You can see here MySQL. I clicked, okay, and I will say show databases. Fine. Test is present, so I will say use test. Fine. And I'll say show tables. You can see here new table is not present. Fine. So I'll have to give maybe student. Just check, we'll check once, just a minute. I will just see what is there in student, and yeah, it is there. I'll see whether records are there or not. So you must be remembering you these queries. The commands are not there, so I'll add one record or two records. So I'll say insert into student values. What is the roll number? What is the full name? First is the full name. So Madhavi. Fine. And I would say M at the rate. I don't remember whether it is single quote or double quote, but single quote I suppose. Just a minute. I'll just give single quote because I have not used MySQL since days. I am using Oracle 10G, so that must be happening. Let's see. Okay, and yeah, I gave it. And then semicolon. It gave me an error. Okay, so same thing I have to give. Yeah, sorry. I'll press up arrow key. Okay, and I would give here double quotes. And here also I'll give double quotes, and I would try to execute this query. Still it is giving me an error. Let's see what is happening. Insert into student values. Student is full name, character, and just okay. By mistake I have given here star. I'll give semicolon. Yeah, query okay, one row affected. Okay, so in the same manner I can give some other record. Okay, and yeah, I want to save it, so commit. It's better. Fine. So it's committed. Now I'll execute it from here. DB. Then fine. Let's see. It's executing. It's giving me error. Yeah, correct. Test.new doesn't exist because I didn't change that. I will give here student. Where is new student? Fine. And let's execute. Yeah, you can see here the records are shown. Fine. So you can see here it is connected because connected was printed in my program. Okay, and I said select star from student. So this is my first record and till here, and this is my second record. Okay, so in this manner you can make a connection and you can start working. So it's really very easy. You can try it. Get back to me. Thank you.